Hi everyone, it's Mitch. It's October 3rd. I'm going to keep this kind of brief. I'm feeling a little under the weather today. Not necessarily from last night's games, just the weather's changing here in Chicago, and me being the Florida boy that I am, the cold weather always gets me when that initial weather change happens. And this year's no different, unfortunately. So, last night we lost with Utah. We won with Alabama, Birmingham, and I'm not sure what happened in that South Florida game. But, Utah, they seem to be a team that can turn it on at any given time, but they're yet to turn it on for an entire 60 minutes. Something we're going to have to watch out for with them. Alabama, Birmingham, they covered by the half point. That was a real, no love lost between those two rivals. And that South Florida Pitt game, South Florida, I felt, was exposed on the in the secondary, and we saw just a ton of penalties. Normally, I would have been pounded on the refs this morning, but actually. I think the refs made some good calls, and South Florida had no choice but to commit those penalties, pass interference. And then when you go back to support your deficiency in the secondary, you got a LaShawn McCoy, and he's gonna run all over you, and he did, and that's what LaShawn does, and that's what we've expected out of him. And 2 touchdowns, 140 yards. These are just typical McCoy numbers, and we're probably gonna have to see another season of that because of the slow start that he had this year. So, we turned to tonight's games, and I'm going to go back on the favorites. I really like Brigham Young in the one game against Utah State. They're laying 29 points, 28, 29. It's been teetering back in that range. It should be in that range. Brigham Young scores a ton of points. They scored 59 and 44 points in their last 2 outings while giving up 0 in each of those games. Max Hall is just, he's a Heisman contender. He doesn't get a lot of mention with everybody else, but he's thrown 15 touchdowns in 4 games. He's close to 1,300 yards. He doesn't play the whole game because they blow people out. On the other side of the ball, Utah State, they've stepped up the competition a couple times. The result was blowout losses. They gave up 66 points against Oregon and Utah. They gave up, I think, 56. So, they just give up a ton. Those aren't the exact amounts, but I know it's like 125 points combined against those 2 opponents. And, Brigham Young's the type of team that maybe has a little better offense than both of those teams. So this one could be scary in a hurry. And we're just going to lay the bundle. We don't care. Lay the bundle of points. And the other one, Cincinnati taking on Marshall. Cincinnati quarterback job seems to be a pretty dangerous place to be these days. Everybody's getting hurt, suspended, not getting their eligibility, whatever the case may be. But it's quarterback of the week program for the Bearcats. One thing the Bearcats do have in their favor, though, is a nice stingy defense, and I always like that. They're playing up against a Marshall team that really let us down last week at Morgantown. Playing West Virginia in a game that I thought they really had a chance to cover. I'm going to go with the Bearcats tonight. I think we have a real low-scoring game in this one, but I think that the Bearcats defense is going to set up field position for the Bearcat offense. The Bearcats do keep about 7 or 8 quarterbacks on that roster, so maybe Brian Kelly knew what he was doing. One of the guys on the bench is Demetrius Jones, last year's opening game Notre Dame starting quarterback, who transferred to Cincinnati. He started at Notre Dame in a Charlie Weis offense. He's third string after 3 quarterbacks have gone down at Cincinnati. So that just tells you what kind of talent level they have there. Dominic Goodman, Terrell Bird, we still like the Bearcats very much, and we're going to take them. Tomorrow we got a full slate of games. Hopefully I'm feeling just a tad bit better. We have my bonus picks in the newsletter. One of them is going to be Notre Dame, Stanford. So, we're in the 20s in picks for the week. We're having a great winning season so far, and this is Mitch, and thanks for joining me.